Good day everyone, welcome back to our class. Today we will going to continue our discussion about globalization, focusing on global interstate system. So without any further ado, let's start. Okay class, before we begin on our discussion, let us have a short recap on our previous lesson. Let us define globalization. Globalization is the word to describe the growing interdependence of the world's economies, cultures, and populations brought about by cross-border trades. We also have different types or structures of globalization. We have economic, cultural, and political globalization. Economic globalization is a worldwide system that permits easy movement of goods. Cultural globalization refers to the transmissions of ideas, meanings, and values around the world. While political globalization, it is the expansion of global political system. Aside from the main types of globalization, we also have other types of globalization, namely financial globalization, technological globalization, ecological globalization, social globalization, and geographical globalization. In this particular topic, we aim to identify the actors in international relations, differentiate internationalism from globalizations, distinguish the two major theories of international relations. To begin with, let us define some important concepts in this topic. Interstate system. It refers to a system of international relations. It also refers to institutions that govern international relations. International relations is an academic discipline that focuses on the study of the interaction of the actors of international politics, including states and non-state, such as the United Nations, the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, and Amnesty International. So what do we mean by that? Global interstate system could be translated in a world system. It is a socio-economic system under systems theory that encompasses part or all of the globe, detailing the aggregate structural result of the sum of the interaction between different countries. World systems are usually larger than single states, but do not have to be global. Global interstate system is the fundamental basis of the competitive commodity economy at the global system level, while international relations is the study of interconnectedness of politics, economics, and law on a global level. Going back to the definition of globalization, it pertains to the process of interaction and integration among people, companies, and government worldwide. Sa madaling salita, ang interstate system ay tumutukoy sa pandaigdigang ugnayan ng mga bansa at sistematikong pakikipagrelasyon ng mga bansa upang matugunan ang kanilang interes sa aspetong pang-ekonomiya, politikal at kultural man. Ang interstate system ang nag-uudyok sa mga bansa upang bumuo ng mga samahang mangangalaga sa kapakanan ng bawat kasapi, nang sa gayon ay lalong mapabuti ang ugnayan ng bawat isa at mapangalagaan ang kapakanan ng bawat kasaping bansa. Internationalism is a political principle which transcends nationalism and advocates a greater political or economic cooperations among nations and people. Internationalism is a political principle that advocates greater political or economic cooperation among states and nations. It is associated with other political movements and ideologies but can also reflect a doctrine, belief system, or movement in itself. Supporters of internationalism are known as the internationalists and generally believe that humans should unite across national, political, cultural, racial, or class boundaries to advance their common interests, or that government should cooperate because their mutual long-term interests are of greater importance than their short-term dispute. Tandaan natin na ang konsepto ng internationalism ay sumusuporta at naniniwala sa kahalagahan ng pandaigdigang ugnayan ng mga bansa. Ang mga internationalists ay nagsusulong na ang bawat isa ay may tungkuling makibahagi sa pandaigdigang ugnayan, pangkultural, pang-ekonomiko at pang-politika. Isa itong pagpapakita ng pagtugon sa globalisasyon. This control by the state and the complex of relations between the diverse international actors can be made more coherent by dividing international relations into interstate, intersocietal, and interpersonal. Interstate relations are those authoritative actions, understandings, or commitments of the governmental authorities, the leaders of one state to or with the governmental authorities of another state, or its groups or citizens, either bilaterally or through international organizations. While intersocietal relations are those authoritative actions, understandings, or commitment of the authorities of groups within one state with those group or citizens of another states, or those relations within groups whose memberships and organizations transcend state. The third types of international relations are what we call interpersonal relations. It is those relations of or between citizens of different states acting in their personal interests. Batay dito, mauuri natin ang international relations sa tatlo. Ang una ay tumutukoy sa ugnayan ng bawat bansa sa aspetong pampolitikal kung saan ang ugnayan ay nagmumula sa pamahalaan at mga namumuno dito. Ang ikalawa naman ay tumutukoy sa ugnayang panlipunan na kung saan ay bahagi ang mga mamamayan at iba pang uri ng pangkat ng tao. Ito ay may layuning tugunan ang kanilang pangangailangang panglipunan at pang-ekonomiya. Ang ikatlong uri ng ugnayan ay batay sa pansariling interes ng mga mamamayan at pagtugon sa kanilang sariling pangangailangan na gumaganap sa pandaigdigang pakikipagrelasyon. Kung bibigyan natin ng halimbawa ang bawat isa, ang interstate relations, ito yung mga pagpupulong ng bawat leader ng bawat bansa. Yung direktang ugnayan ng pamahalaan. Halimbawa nito, yung mga pagpupulong na may kinalaman sa pagpapalakas ng aspetong pangdepensa o militar ng bawat bansa. Yung pagpupulong na may kinalaman sa pagpapaunlad ng ekonomiya ng bawat bansa. Yung direktang pakikipag-usap ng leader ng isang bansa sa leader ng isa pang bansa. Ang intersocietal relations ay ang pakikibahagi ng malaking pangkat ng mga mamamayan sa pandaigdigang aspeto, sa pandaigdigang kultura, sa pandaigdigang gawain. Ano yung mga halimbawa nito? May kinalaman sa relihiyon, may kinalaman sa pandaigdigang ekonomiya, may kinalaman sa pandaigdigang palitan ng kultura. Ang interpersonal relations ay tumutukoy sa sariling interes ng mga taong makibahagi sa gawaing may kinalaman sa globalisasyon. Yung kanyang sariling interes na matuto ng bagong kultura, matuto ng bagong musika, makibahagi sa iba't ibang gawaing may kinalaman sa kultura, paniniwala, at paraan ng pamumuhay ng ibang tao mula sa ibang nasyon, ibang bansa, o mula sa ibang grupo ng lahi. So these are the three actors in the international field. One is that of the national government, which in all states the coercive force monopolizing spheres of states. The second sphere of power is that of social groups, the family, church, corporation, institutions, and so on. And the third is that of the individual's personal interests. So those are the three sphere of powers in international relations. To further understand how international system works, we must look on two major theories of international relations. First is what we call realism. Realism focuses on the notion that states work to increase their own power relative to other states. The theory of realism states that the only certainty in the world is power. Therefore, a powerful state by a military power will always be able to outlast its weaker competitors. Self-preservation is a major theme in realism, as states must always seek power to protect themselves. Another theories of international relations is what we call liberalism or idealism. Liberalism recognizes that states share broad ties, thus making it difficult to define singular independent national interests. The theory of liberalism in international relations therefore involves a decreased use of military power. Bilang patunay ng epekto ng globalisasyon at interstate relations na buo ang iba't ibang international institutions, ang ilan dito ay kinabibilangan ng Pilipinas. To sum up this topic, in terms of international organization participation, give at least 5 international institutions which the Philippines has participated, and explain how does international organizations help the Philippine economy. So, that's all for today. I hope you learned something in our discussion. Thank you. God bless. Keep learning and keep safe.